You got a full night of sleep. 8 hours, maybe 9. You did everything right, and you woke up tired. Not a little groggy, tired. Like the sleep didn't happen, like your body just skipped it entirely and handed you a bill anyway. If that's happened to you more than twice this week, and statistically, it has, there are 6 specific reasons why, and only one of them has anything to do with how much you're sleeping. We're going through all 6, but I want to flag 2 things before we start. First, reason number 4 is the one that doctors never bring up in a standard checkup. And once you hear it, you're going to start noticing it everywhere. Second, reason number 6 is the one that actually explains why more sleep often makes you more tired, not less. There's a name for it. It's been studied since the 1980s, and it's wild. Okay, let's go. Reason 1, sleep quality. Before you say, I know I need better sleep, thanks, hold on, because this isn't about duration. Most people think sleep is like a light switch. Off equals rest, back on equals recovered. But sleep is actually more like a car wash. There are different stages, different cycles, different jobs being done in each one. And if your car goes through the wrong sequence or gets stuck in one lane, it comes out dirty, even if it was in there for hours. Your stage people don't get enough of is deep sleep, also called slow wave sleep. This is where your brain literally flushes out metabolic waste, including proteins linked to cognitive impairment. It's called the glymphatic system, and it only runs properly when you're in deep sleep. Alcohol before bed crushes deep sleep, so does blue light within an hour of sleeping, so does, and this one hurts, sleeping in on weekends. Here's the thing about sleeping in. Your body runs on a circadian clock, a roughly 24-hour internal timer. When you shift your sleep schedule by even 90 minutes on weekends, you give yourself what researchers call social jet lag. Your Monday morning self is effectively landing in a different time zone every week, without the flight snacks. Okay, reason 2, cortisol, or as I like to call it, your body's most dedicated employee who absolutely refuses to clock out. Cortisol is your primary stress hormone, and the right amount, it's useful. It peaks in the morning to help you wake up. It helps you handle stress. It keeps you alert. And the wrong amount, chronically elevated, circulating all day and into the night, and destroys your sleep quality, suppresses immune function, and keeps your nervous system in a state of low-level emergency that feels exactly like being tired all the time. A 2022 study from Uppsala University found that chronic mild stress, the kind most adults experience just from the pace of daily life, elevates evening cortisol levels enough to reduce deep sleep by up to 30%. Not dramatic stress, just normal modern life stress. The cool irony. Stress makes you tired, but being tired makes you more reactive to stress, which reduces more cortisol, which makes you more tired. It's a perfect loop. Your body engineered its own trap, and then didn't leave a way out. But stress and sleep are the obvious ones. Reasons 3 and 4 are the ones that are actually more common and way less talked about. Reason 3, nutrition. Specifically, the way modern eating patterns create blood sugar crashes that your brain reads as a full-body shutdown signal. Here's the mechanism. You eat something high in refined carbohydrates, white bread, pasta, pretty much anything that tastes good at a gas station, your blood sugar spikes fast. Your pancreas panics and floods your system with insulin to bring it back down. It overcompensates. Blood sugar drops below baseline. Your brain, which runs almost exclusively on glucose, now thinks there's a fuel shortage. It triggers fatigue as a conservation response. You didn't run a marathon, you had a sandwich, and now you need a nap. The second nutritional culprit, iron deficiency. It's the most common nutritional deficiency in the world, affecting roughly 2 billion people. And its primary symptom is fatigue so persistent that most people assume it's just who they are now. Iron carries oxygen in your blood. Less iron means less oxygen delivery to your muscles and organs. Your body responds by doing less. Specifically, everything feels harder. Concentration drops, motivation disappears, and you feel tired doing things that used to feel effortless. The fun part? Mild iron deficiency doesn't show up in standard checkups unless your doctor specifically orders a ferritin test, which is a measure of stored iron, not just circulating iron, and most don't. Think about the last time a doctor checked your ferritin. Specifically, that iron, ferritin. If you're drawing a blank, you're not alone. Most people have never had it tested, and a significant portion of people who self-describe as chronically tired have ferritin levels below optimal range and have no idea. Okay, reason 4. This is the one I flagged at the start, the one that almost never comes up in a standard doctor's visit. Physical inactivity. Not as a lifestyle judgment, as a physiological mechanism. Here's what most people don't know. Your body doesn't produce energy passively. Energy production at the cellular level in your mitochondria scales with demand. The more regularly you use your muscles, the more mitochondria your cells develop, and the more efficient your energy production becomes. Sit still for long enough, and the system literally downsizes. Your cells stop producing less energy because they've learned you don't need it. The result, you feel tired, so you rest more. Your cells produce even less energy, you feel more tired, and this is called deconditioning, and it creates a fatigue loop that has nothing to do with how much sleep you're getting. A 2008 study in psychotherapy and psychosomatics found that sedentary people who started a low-intensity exercise program, just 20 minutes, 3 times a week, reported a 65% improvement in fatigue levels after 6 weeks. They didn't change their sleep. They didn't change their diet, just the movement. 65%. Your body doesn't rest its way out of fatigue. It moves its way out, which is deeply annoying when you're tired. Reason 5. Decision fatigue. And this one is sneaky because it doesn't feel like tiredness. It feels like stupidity. Your body runs in glucose. Every decision you make, even tiny ones, costs a measurable amount of mental energy. After enough decisions, the brain shifts into conservation mode. Cognitive performance drops, impulse control drops, the ability to think clearly about anything drops. It feels like brain fog or exhaustion, or the general sense that you simply cannot. The famous 2011 study on Israeli judges found that prisoners who appeared before the parole board first thing in the morning received parole about 65% of the time. Prisoners who appeared at the end of the day received it about 10% of the time. Same cases, same judges, different time of day. The judges' brains had simply run out of the energy required to engage with complexity, so they defaulted to no. Sorry, bro. Now apply that to modern life. The average adult makes roughly 35,000 decisions per day. Most of them are invisible. What to wear, what to eat, what to open first, what to reply to, whether to reply, what that reply should say, whether to read that thing now or later, whether later is ever actually going to happen. By 3 p.m., a significant portion of people are not tired from physical activity. They're tired from having operated a human brain and the modern world for 6 straight hours. And the fix is not coffee. Which brings us to reason 6, and I need to do this one justice because this is the one that pulls the whole thing together. Slot 6 has been locked away this whole time, and here's why. Reason 6 isn't a cause, it's a frame, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. Ready? Here it comes. Reason 6. Your exhaustion is not a malfunction, it's a signal, and you've been treating the signal like a problem instead of reading what it's pointing at. Here's what's actually happening across all 6 reasons. Poor sleep quality leads to elevated cortisol. Elevated cortisol dysregulates blood sugar. Dysregulated blood sugar reduces physical motivation. Reduced physical activity deconditions your mitochondria. Deconditioned mitochondria reduces overall energy. And on top of all of it, decision fatigue burns through whatever's left. These 6 things are not independent. They are a system. They feed each other, which is why when someone is chronically tired, it rarely traces back to just one cause, and why fixing just one thing rarely fixes the feeling. Now here's the answer to the question I raised at the start. Why does more sleep sometimes make you more tired? It's called sleep inertia. When you sleep beyond your natural sleep cycle length, usually around 7 to 9 hours for most adults, you risk waking up mid-cycle. Specifically during deep sleep. The abrupt interruption of deep sleep produces adenosine buildup, the same chemical that drives sleepiness, without the recovery phase that normally clears it. The result, you feel worse than if you'd slept less. This is also why naps over 30 minutes tend to feel horrible. You fall into a deep sleep cycle, the alarm pulls you out of it midstream, and your brain spends the next 45 minutes trying to figure out what year it is. Here's a reframe. The reason most tiredness advice doesn't work is because it treats tiredness as a sleep problem. But sleep is just one gear in a 6-gear system. Optimizing sleep while leaving the other 5 gears broken is like changing one tire on a car while the engine is also on fire. The good news, because these things are a system, small changes in multiple gears compound. You don't need to fix everything at once. You need to move more than one gear in the right direction simultaneously. Even slightly. Consistent sleep schedule, even just consistent wake time, stabilizes cortisol. Stable cortisol improves blood sugar regulation. Stable blood sugar improves motivation to move. Movement builds mitochondria. Better mitochondria improve everything downstream. And reducing your decision load, batching, simplifying, automated small choices returns cognitive energy for the things that actually matter. Your tiredness isn't a personality trait. It's a system in the wrong state, and systems can be adjusted. You got a full night of sleep. 8 hours, and you woke up tired. That's not a mystery anymore. That's 5 other gills that need attention. The sleep was fine. The sleep was never really the problem.